Chosen one, I want you to lean in closely because this Friday isn't just another day marked on your kitchen calendar. It is more than a simple transition from Thursday to the weekend. It carries a weight that the world cannot see. There are certain moments in human history and in your personal timeline that hold a significance far beyond the hours passing by. They are what we call divine appointments, moments where the clock of heaven aligns perfectly with the needs of your soul. As the celestial whispers have already begun to carry your name into this new season, you must realize that this Friday is a spiritual reset. It is a full circle moment where the loops of your past are finally closing and a destiny-altering door, which God Himself has hand-crafted for you, is swinging wide open. You are standing on the threshold of something monumental. You might not be able to see the change yet with your physical eyes, and that is perfectly okay. In fact, it is often in the natural stillness that the greatest spiritual shifts occur. Right now, the atmosphere surrounding your life is vibrating with a new frequency because heaven has decreed that your period of wandering is over. Think of it as a prophetic silence, that heavy, expectant quiet that always precedes a massive downpour of rain after a long, dry drought. In the unseen realms, there is a countdown ticking away, and it is heading straight toward your breakthrough. What is approaching is not just a minor update to your current situation. It is a total beginning that belongs exclusively to you. You have been prepared for this specific hour, and the wait is finally coming to its preordained conclusion. I want to be very clear with you. This is not a symbolic gesture or a poetic metaphor meant to make you feel good for a few minutes. This is a direct declaration from the Creator that your now has arrived. God is not saying that your life will change someday, or eventually, or when conditions are perfect. He is saying it begins this Friday. This specific day has been marked in the archives of eternity as your launch point. I encourage you to stay with this message until the very end because every word here is coded with the confirmation you have been searching for. It is aligned with the intent of heaven for your specific future. If you feel that spark of hope, type 777 in the comments to energize this space with the collective spirit of a breakthrough. These aren't just numbers, they are your personal declarations of faith. This moment is sacred, and we must honor it with the respect it deserves. Chosen one, if you haven't already, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can stay connected on this journey. Let's truly begin. Reflect for a moment on those days in your life when it felt like everything was stuck in a permanent pause of mode. No matter how much effort you exerted, no matter how many tears you shed or how many times you pushed against the grain, nothing seemed to move an inch. You prayed until your voice was a whisper, you waited until your patience was thin, and yet it felt like the heavens were made of brass. You might have felt ignored or forgotten, but I am here to tell you that heaven was never silent because it was indifferent. What you perceived as a delay was actually a season of arrangement. While you were looking at the closed door, God was working behind the scenes, arranging the pieces of your life to fit a much larger puzzle. The pause wasn't a punishment for your mistakes, and the silence certainly wasn't a sign of rejection from your Father. It was divine positioning. Every genuine new beginning requires a period of clearing out the old, settling the dust, and grounding your spirit in truth. You are standing on a sacred edge right now. All those things that didn't work out, the relationships that broke you, and the opportunities that seemed to vanish were actually revealing why they couldn't come with you into this next chapter. They were the weights you had to drop to fly. This coming Friday is the literal fruit of your hidden obedience. It is the long-awaited reward for the tears you cried in the middle of the night when nobody else was watching. It is the divine confirmation of your spiritual resilience. You didn't give up when it would have been easy to walk away. And now, this Friday will carry a shift that doesn't just whisper change, it announces it with the roar of a lion. God isn't looking to give you a tiny, incremental adjustment to your current lifestyle. He is inviting you into a completely new blueprint. This is a restart that comes directly from the throne room, and it is deeply personal. It isn't about what your neighbor is doing or what looks popular on social media. It's about your specific legacy. You have navigated so many endings that felt senseless and cruel at the time. You've had moments where you sat in the rubble of your plans and felt like a total failure. But what if I told you that not a single one of those endings was a waste of your time? What if you realized that God was actually building a high-powered launch pad in the very ashes of your most painful breakdowns? Every struggle was a piece of construction material for the platform you are about to stand on. This Friday is not just a random new beginning by chance. It was always the destination. Some people are simply given opportunities by luck, but people like you are chosen for specific, divinely scripted moments. You were born for this exact transition. Because you have been refined by intense pressure, you will find that this new season feels different. You are not the same person who started this journey years ago. You have been shaped by the gales of life storms and purified through the fires of your own private pain. Because of that process, you are now ready to not only receive a massive blessing, but to actually sustain it. Many people get a blessing and lose it because they haven't been tested, but you have the character to hold what God is about to give you. You have the spiritual muscle to carry the weight of your new authority. This Friday is the manifestation of that readiness, and it is going to feel like a perfect fit for the person you've become. Take a deep breath right now, chosen one. Let the air fill your lungs and realize that every single time you were overlooked for a promotion, every time a prayer seemed to bounce off the ceiling, and every time life seemed to skip right over you, it wasn't the end. Those moments were a sophisticated setup for the story that is about to unfold. God didn't forget your address. He reserved you for a specific time when the atmosphere was right. He didn't deny your request. He preserved your heart from things that would have destroyed you too soon. What he is releasing this Friday isn't a trial version of success. It is the real, permanent, and supernaturally aligned thing. It is anointed, appointed, and ready for you. There is a very specific reason you were led to this message today. It's not a coincidence that your spirit feels like it wants to cry, even though your physical circumstances haven't shifted just yet. That's your soul recognizing the truth before your mind can catch up. Your spirit knows it is standing at the edge of something massive that words cannot fully explain. You are at the starting line of the version of life that God intended for you from the very beginning. This is a version of you that is no longer contaminated by the shame of the past, no longer restricted by the chains of fear, and no longer dictated by the trauma you endured. This is the elevated, wealthy, and free version of your existence. When you begin again this time, you won't have to spend a single second trying to prove your worth to other people. This new beginning will be so powerful and so evident that it will speak for itself. You won't need to argue your case or defend your position. God has already gone ahead of you to clear the path and level the mountains. However, he needed you to be ready on the inside before he could change your outside. He needed your mind to be renewed, your heart to be purified, and your spirit to reach a level of maturity that can handle the harvest. Beginnings aren't truly about what you receive. They are about the quality of what you carry within your soul. Right now, you are carrying a wealth of wisdom that you didn't have before. You carry a clear vision, a tested endurance, and a divine alignment with the Father. You have everything you need to walk into this next chapter and ensure that you never have to return to the things that broke you in the past. Your hands are not empty, even if they feel like it. They are equipped with the tools of experience. Your soul is not tired, it is focused and hungry. Your destiny is not delayed, it is arriving right on time, and Friday is the scheduled arrival date. Most people don't understand how a single day can change the trajectory of a lifetime, but God isn't looking for a crowd, He's looking for you. When the Creator starts something new, He doesn't always start with a lot of noise. He starts with His presence, His precision, and His purpose. That is why this beginning might come quietly to some people around you, but it will roar like thunder in your own spirit. You will feel the weight of it before you see the evidence of it. You will wake up this Friday morning and sense a literal change in the air. The pressure that used to sit on your chest will be gone. The resistance you've been fighting for years will finally break. The clarity you've been seeking will settle into your mind like a morning mist, and everything that felt scattered will finally come into a sharp, beautiful focus. I want you to let the people who doubted you watch this transformation. Let the ones who thought you were finished witness what God can do with a surrendered heart. Let the ones who couldn't see your value sit back in silence as your life begins to glow. This beginning isn't just about a better bank account or a boost in your mood. It is a spiritual unveiling. God is revealing your true identity by the way He is about to bless you. Your name is already being discussed in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Your divine assignment is being highlighted in the archives of heaven, and the door that opens this Friday will never be shut by any human hand. Stop trying to explain your journey to people who were never meant to understand your calling. This next phase of your life doesn't require their permission, their validation, or their approval. It only requires your radical obedience to the voice of God. If He says it's time to begin, then you begin. If He says it's time to move, then you pack your bags and go. This Friday, do not hesitate or second guess the promptings of your heart. Don't talk yourself out of your own miracle because you're afraid of looking too big for others. You have been obedient in the dark, and now you are about to be rewarded in the light. God is moving you from the hidden place to the highlighted place. As you step into this new beginning, you are walking in as the version of yourself you were always meant to be. You have vision in your mind, strength in your hands, and a fire in your spirit that cannot be extinguished. God's favor is wrapped around every step you take like a shield. Even though the journey ahead will have its own set of challenges, you won't be the same person facing them. You won't handle stress the same way, you won't cry the same tears of despair, and you won't break under the weight. You know who you are now, and you know whose you are. There is something truly sacred about a fresh start that is ordained by heaven. This Friday is a signal that your old season has officially expired. The battles you fought in the last chapter have been settled in court, and the blessing is now being released from the vault. This isn't just a date on a calendar, it is a milestone in the realm of destiny. Your name is carved into this moment. You didn't earn this through being perfect, but you were certainly prepared for it through the pain you endured. You didn't demand it with a sense of entitlement, but you survived enough spiritual warfare to carry this blessing with true humility. The invisible countdown in the heavens is reaching zero, and the announcement is clear. The chosen one is ready. For such a long time, it felt like you were just waiting for a green light that never came. You were looking for a sign or a door that didn't lead to another frustrating delay. This Friday is that sign. The beginning doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing, and the shift doesn't have to be seen by the world to be sacred to you. Some of the most powerful moves of God start in the secret place between you and Him. Soon, the evidence will become undeniable. The fruit will start to bloom, and the favor will become so visible that even those who stood against you will have to acknowledge that God is with you. This Friday isn't just changing your circumstances, it's shifting your very identity. You don't think, believe, or fear the same way anymore. This time, you aren't stepping into the new season as someone who is still questioning if they are good enough or worthy enough. You are stepping in as someone who knows they were chosen for such a time as this. You've been through enough fire to know that the flame inside you is hotter than the fire around you. You've battled through enough darkness to know that your light is unshakable. You have surrendered enough control to realize that your peace is found in your obedience, not just in the final outcome. This is why this beginning is going to change more than just your life. It is going to rewrite your entire family lineage. This Friday is about a generational breakthrough. It's about breaking the cycles of poverty, the patterns of addiction, and the clouds of depression that have followed your bloodline for years. You are the transition point in your family tree. God chose you to carry the weight of a new legacy, and while that weight may have felt heavy in the past, it is now turning into a divine wind at your back. This beginning is for you, but the overflow will bless everyone connected to you. You are the pioneer of a new way of living. Don't be surprised when things feel strangely different on Friday. If your spirit feels weightless or your discernment feels sharper than ever, take that as a confirmation from the Father. If your dreams become vivid and your path becomes clear, know that the shift has already started deep within your soul. You don't need a massive public announcement or a viral post to validate what God is doing. All you need is awareness, alignment, and action. The moment your spirit says yes to this new season, all of heaven responds in kind. This beginning is triggered by your internal agreement with what God has already said about your future. You have been prepared in secret for what is about to be revealed in the open. You will notice that the conversations that used to drain your energy no longer interest you. The environments that used to distract you will now feel uncomfortable and repel you. The people who used to ignore your potential will suddenly start to see your authority, not because you are acting differently, but because God's hand is undeniable. This Friday, it all begins with a peace that surpasses human understanding. It begins with a confidence that doesn't need a cheerleader and a joy that is rooted in the fact that you know the tide has finally turned in your favor. Don't treat this day like any other Friday. Don't go into it casually. Wake up with a sense of high expectation. Prepare your physical space, clear your mind, and open your heart wide. This is your divine launch day. How you treat the beginning of a season often determines how long you will thrive within it. If you enter with a heart of gratitude, the doors will swing open even wider. If you move with reverence, the blessings will expand beyond your imagination. If you walk with bold faith, the path will appear even when others say there is no way through. Your posture matters more than your resources right now. Friday is the ultimate proof that heaven honors the humble and blesses the bold. The quiet ones who remained faithful in the shadows are about to become the loudest testimonies of God's goodness. As this new chapter unfolds, you'll notice a beautiful reversal. The things you used to chase will now start to chase after you. The ideas that were once blurry will manifest with perfect clarity. The resources you were missing will find their way to your doorstep. The heaviness you carried for years will lift off your shoulders. This beginning resets the atmosphere around you. You are moving into a frequency of flow, strategy, and divine instruction. You will feel more guided than you have ever felt in your entire life. This isn't luck, it is alignment. Now you can see why the warfare was so intense over the last few months. The enemy knew you were on the edge of this breakthrough, and he tried everything to make you give up before you reached the border. He knew that if you ever stepped into this specific beginning, you would become unstoppable. He knew that this level of favor would make you a threat to the kingdom of darkness. But you survived the sabotage, you outlasted the delay, and now God is not only promoting you, but He is building a hedge of protection around your new blessing. Do not waste a single second of this Friday trying to convince people who cannot comprehend your calling. Do not spend your precious energy explaining things that can only be understood by the Spirit. This beginning is a sacred commission between you and the Almighty. You were designed for this elevation, and no person on earth can block what God has already signed and sealed in the heavens. The table is prepared, the favor is released, and the doors are timed to your arrival. Now it is your turn to step out in faith. Declare it with your mouth, own it with your heart, and walk into it with your feet. This is the day your soul has been craving for years. This is the moment your future has been waiting for. Your promises are finally starting to look like your reality. Even if the external world looks the same for a few more hours, maintain your posture of victory. Your internal knowing is all the evidence you need. When heaven opens a new beginning, the earth has no choice but to align with that decree. The physical world is currently catching up to the decision God made about you a long time ago. Stay humble, stay ready, and stay aligned. You don't need a crowd of people to cheer you on when you have the King of Kings backing you up. This Friday moment is about the knowing. You feel it in your bones, don't you? There is a quiet thunder shaking your spirit, telling you that something divine is approaching. It might not be loud yet, but it is incredibly powerful. It might not be public yet, but it is permanent. You aren't just waiting for a door to open, you are realizing that you have become the door through which God's glory will flow. You aren't waiting to be called anymore, you are realizing that you have been the chosen one all along. You are the beginning. This is where your life starts to mirror the promises you were brave enough to believe in during the dark. This isn't happening because you were perfect, it's happening because you didn't quit. You survived the storm that was designed to sink your ship. You endured the loneliness that was meant to crush your spirit. You walked through dead ends and seasons that felt like a desert, and yet you still showed up. You still prayed, you still hoped, and you still kept your eyes on the prize. Heaven has a record of every moment you chose faith over fear. Now it is heaven's turn to respond to your persistence. The response is a fresh start that will exceed your expectations and heal the wounds of your past. When God gives you a new beginning, it might look smaller than you imagined at first. It might come through a simple conversation, a quiet realization, or a small opportunity. But never let the humble start fool you. Whatever begins with God's hand will always finish with His glory. He doesn't need a parade to start a miracle. He only needs your yes. Friday is the awakening of everything you have been prepared for. It is the day the vault of heaven opens for you, not because of your own pressure, but because of your prophetic purpose. You are wired for this success, and your name is written on this season. As you step into this moment, you will notice how quickly the shift occurs. You aren't starting from zero, you are starting from a massive harvest of years of endurance. Everything is finally going to make sense. The detours, the delays, and even the no's. They weren't obstacles, they were the path. Now that your feet are aligned with your purpose, the path will light up with every step you take. You are no longer wandering through life. You are walking with intention. Every decision will be infused with divine clarity, and every conversation will be a divinely appointed link in the chain of your success. This is not guesswork. This is guided work. You are being moved into a spiritual frequency where distractions cannot reach you and confusion cannot cloud your judgment. You are stepping into a state of flow and divine fluidity. There will be no more forcing things to happen, no more just surviving the week, and no more chasing after people or things. This beginning ushers in a life where you attract what you need simply by being who you are. You win by remaining obedient to the internal voice that never leads you astray. That voice is getting louder now because the time of your manifestation is here. Your path is rare and it is beautiful. Don't worry if others don't get it. They weren't assigned to it. You are walking a road that few have the courage to travel. This Friday, you are crossing a finish line and a starting line at the very same time. Embrace the newness, trust the process, and know that the best is not just coming. It is beginning right now. You are the chosen one, and your Friday has arrived.